Hi, I'm Tom, and this is a Lockwood Aircam. Pretty interesting, huh? Very unusual airplane. Twin engine, got this great big wing, large camber, that's the curved surface on the top of the wing. Gives it an awful lot of lift. It's a fabric wing. Modern fabrics. They last for 30 to 50 years. Rotax engines. Each one develops about 100 horsepower. It's it looks like a wasp, giant wasp. It's not an ultralight. It's too powerful. 200 horsepower is too powerful, and it's also too heavy to be an ultralight. So it is an experimental aircraft. There's been about 250 of them built. It's not really an experimental. I mean, FAA calls them that. Basically means it's a kit-built airplane instead of being built in a factory. So you can see from here, the pilot sits way out front there. There's some interesting things about this design because it's pusher prop and twin. So the pusher props mean the engines face backwards. Center of gravity tends to roll back when you put the engines back, and that allows them to do this, extend that pilot cockpit way out front here. So unobstructed views. And so the Aircam's called an Aircam because this strut you see sticking out here, this horizontal thing, that's for mounting a camera. And it's sturdy enough for professional grade cameras. The design was done for, initially for National Geographic. So if you've ever seen these National Geographic things where they're flying over forests, jungles, and mountains, there's a good chance one of these Aircams was used to fly over that. And the reason why is because the twin engines make it very safe. An engine goes out, you're not going to go down in the jungle or down in the mountains. You can still fly. Matter of fact, this thing can actually take off on one engine. Don't recommend it. Neither does the manufacturer or the designer. But also that giant wing allows the thing to get off the ground at about 200 feet. Actually, a little less than that. And those big tires you see allow it to land in a very rough terrain, and since it stalls at such a low speed, meaning that you don't have to worry so much about it falling out of the sky as you reduce your airspeed, you can slow it down and land it in about 500 feet on rough terrain. So you can land it in fields. We're going to land it in the desert today. We're going to go in the desert. And it's an adventure airplane. It's actually designed to be able to land off the field, which is exactly what we're going to do. Today we're going to fire those twin engines up, take off here from WWII Air Park. We're going to fly over to this abandoned airfield right here. Square on the map there. That's left over from World War II. The desert has long since taken back the airfield. It was a giant asphalt square. It was used during World War II to train first-time pilots. So that's where we're gonna fly over to it. You'll see it from the air, and then we're gonna land in the desert next to it. You can see there's clear desert next to it, and find a wreck that's out there, World War II wreck. So that should be pretty interesting. So that's kind of the background on the plane. Let's do our ground checks and fire it up. All right, so here we are. We're strapped into the cockpit here. On my checklist. Done a couple of pre-flight checks on the airplane. I'm going to turn the fuel pumps on. Fuel pumps on, throttle set. See if I hit the starters and get this thing started. Later, prop. So here we are, out in the middle of the Sonoran Desert. Doing what that airplane does best. Bright yellow Aircam, landing off field. What we're going to do is take a little hike out here into the desert. See if we can't find that airplane wreck. Interesting little bit of history from World War II. So let's start our hike. She is off in the distance. Still hiking. We found it. A little bit of a hike here to get out here. Not that the distance was so long, just finding it, zigzagging back and forth, following the wrong wash. Finally got here. But there it is. Remnants. Half buried. I don't know where the rest of the plane is. This is obviously one wing. And there's an engine cowling. No more engine, of course. But you can see it's been, looks like it's been abused by souvenir takers. Since it's the engine's on the wing and the wing's not big enough for more than one engine, it's a twin. Probably a Beech 18. The telltale on that would be this air intake right there. So yeah, it's probably a Beech 18. They were used for training bomber pilots out here during the war. There were many airports out in the desert. This was just an auxiliary airport. It's not too far from Marana Regional, which was also a training center. And there was a third one out here somewhere too. But you can see this is just desert. But yeah, a little bit of history right here. World War II. I wonder what the story is. Behind this crash. I'm sure there are others. So yeah, that's it. We'll hike back to the airplane. Thanks for coming out. There you got it.